Hello everyone, my name is Brianna Brooks and my research is on city managers versus city administrators. I chose to research these two positions since in the future I am very much interested in becoming a city manager. From my knowledge on the two, I do know that the responsibilities of a city administrator and a city manager differ in some ways, but can also be very similar. These positions have always been a job that I considered one of the most important jobs within a city. It was not until my undergrad years that I have figured out that while their job duties do overlap, there are significant differences that each position encounters. Their unique differences and similarities is what I want to gain more information about in my research. I am very interested in how city managers or administrators participate and play a role in their city legislation, and also their experiences while in these positions. So, a little overview on city administrators and city managers. Both of these positions were created to encourage fundamental changes in the way that city councils were elected and city governments were structured and managed. The mayor and city council retain ultimate responsibility for the city government but appoint a city manager to serve them as chief executive. Or within a mayor-council government, a deputy to the mayor is what the city administrator would be. The percentage of U.S. cities that operate on a council-manager platform with an appointed city manager serving as chief executive is 53%, and that exceeds the percentage operating on a mayor-council base with mayor serving as the chief executive, and that percentage is 39. Now for some experiences within both of these positions. So for city managers, they serve with the council as the chief policy making body of the city. They serve without tenure at the council's pleasure, and a mayor serves part-time while the city manager assumes full-time day-to-day responsibilities for the city. Now for city administrators, they serve with the council and the mayor almost as a deputy to the mayor. They have limited personnel appointment authority and executive powers, and they occupy a secondary position in the executive chain of command, whereas the city managers serve as the head of the administrative organization and not assistant to the head. The city council has ultimate authority in the council manager government, but the city manager is appointed as chief executive. Actions taken by the mayor or member of the council that would one up the manager's executive authority is considered encroachment and is likely to be resisted, even by fellow council members. In mayor-council governments, the role of city administrator is defined not as chief executive, the mayor holds that title, but as head of the administration. Now there are differences when it comes to both positions and how they operate. For city managers, they are elected by the city council and also appointed by the city council. They present budget recommendations directly to the council. And this goes along with presenting any programs that they want to start, any initiatives that they think will be beneficial for the city. And they also have more authority to choose their management team, so the people working under them, their assistants, and things of that nature. City administrators are hired by the manager. They present budget recommendations to the mayor, who decides if the council will hear it, and they're a little bit more political based. The mayor-council government to be more political than the council-manager government. This does not imply that the council-manager governments are devoid of politics. Both roles demand political astuteness. It's just that the mayors have more opportunity to hire a city administrator who falls within their beliefs. Typically, everything else about the positions are similar, but I wanted to point out two more facts that I learned from my research. A survey of current city administrators and managers by David A. Ammons found that both positions on average work 53-hour work weeks, meaning that they both are very demanding and complex. They both devote the same average of time for management roles and policy and political issues as well. So even though city administrators have slightly less authority, they still devote the same amount of time to these issues just like city managers. On this slide, I go more into detail about the role that both of these positions play within their city's legislation. The typical process for a city manager to be involved in the city's legislation is first evaluating the need for the proposed improvements or programs and to make the final administrative decisions regarding the program and improvements. Next, they direct the preparation of an effective report to the City Council recommending a plan for implementing the improvement program. Third, they coordinate the activities of various people who will prepare detailed plans for construction and financing the program. Then lastly, they help sell the program to the public. For city administrators, they're perceived by council members to be influential in policy processes, but less influential than city managers. They must go through the mayor to advocate for budgets in front of their city councils. So a quick summary of what I've learned during this research is that one of the main differences between city administrators and city managers would be the level of authority that is given. City managers have more authority when it comes to promoting budgets and programs than administrators do. Administrators must go through the mayor to get the city council, while managers can go directly to the city council. Depending on if the mayor has the same policy views as them, the mayor can choose whether or not to advocate for the issue in front of the city council. Both positions have politics included in them, but city administrators tend to be more political based. Since mayors hire the city administrator, it is likely that they will lean towards hiring someone with their political beliefs in order to promote their agenda. And this goes back to the point I made above, where the mayor can decide if they want that issue to be advocated for in front of the city council. If not, then they won't advocate for it in front of the city council, and that's not something that a city manager has to worry about, since they can go directly to them and don't have to stop and get the mayor's approval.